What's going on, guys? I'm back again, and I'm here to talk about the newest movie in one of my favorite franchises ever created, Terminator Dark Fate. Now, I will review the other five Terminators over a period of a few months, but I'm going to talk about the new movie because, it just came out, even though it came out a month ago, I still really wanted to review it because I can't tell you guys enough about how much this movie really surprised me. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was actually very nervous about going into this movie because I heard so many bad rep going on about this movie. There were so many things people were saying were wrong with it. I did find out a spoiler before going in by accident. I was very just broken up by that. I was like, dang it. But I gotta say, this was a very surprising movie. Now, this movie does star Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor, who now must stop a new advanced liquid Terminator called a Rev 9, which is a Terminator that is basically an exoskeleton of an original Terminator, but it has liquid metal that can form its own Terminator and battle side by side with it. Now, I figured that was really cool, and so I knew this movie couldn't officially disappoint me, and it didn't. This movie was a hell of a good time. Oh, man. There's so much going on with this. Now, let me get into pros. For one thing, Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor coming back again, one of the best decisions they could have made with this franchise, because as I will mention in future reviews, Salvation and Genesis are not that great. I don't like them that well, but I'll get more into those later. And the fact that they brought back Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor, that was the best decision they could have made for this movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he still does really well as a Terminator, and there is a really good quality about his character that would also be a spoiler to the film, but I don't really want to talk about it right now because I figured most people haven't seen the film or don't want to know until they go in. I do think Mackenzie Davis as an advanced human being was really well done in this movie. She was awesome, very badass, and Linda Hamilton, despite a lady being like in her 60s or 70s, she was so good here. I could not believe it. Oh, man. She was such a good character in this movie. And also I felt the action was very well done as well. There was so much good action sequences, but there were times when it feels like you can tell that it's CGI and it's fake, and it looks like there's some sort of like a filter, or like you can tell it's a little bit static at times, and I felt that was a bit of a disappointment for me about the special effects, and I'm like, come on, you guys should have figured that out. You guys should have noticed that while you were making it. I can't explain to you guys enough how many times I've seen that in this movie. But I do think the acting is really good. I felt the action scenes were very well done. I do feel like this is a good story. This definitely tops Terminator 3 through Genesis. I really think it's so awesome. I do think it is a heck of a good time. I don't know why people are hating on this movie. I do think it is really well done. I don't know what else to say about it, but the only issues I have with the film... Oh yeah, another thing I do want to point out here is that this movie actually discussed a topic that actually was in my head for a while, ever since I saw the first Terminator for the first time when I was little. I can't get into it because it might be a spoiler, but, it involves what happens if a Terminator succeeds its mission at what it's supposed to do. And I was like, I've had that question in my head for so long, and they finally answer it here. And I was actually very happy with that. And the way they carried it out, I was actually pretty surprised and satisfied with it. My only real issue with the movie, however, is that it's a spoiler, but it's at the beginning of the movie. Yeah. I'm not even going to get into it because I don't think anybody would want to hear this, although most people probably will look it up anyway, but I'm a nice guy and I don't want to spoil it for anybody. And some of the CGI wasn't really that great, but in the long run, this movie is far better than Terminator 3, Salvation, and Genesis. It definitely tops those movies. It's not as good as the first two, and I will review the previous 5 movies over time. But in the long run, this was a really good film, and I'm going to give it a B+. So if you guys really want to check this out, please do. I do highly recommend it. and I'll see you guys next time.